I just recently released a video about this Instagram page I found called Yacha Club, I think it's pronounced. And they have Valley Tudo fights in really strange places, like on the beach or in nightclubs. And going over their content really got me reflective into thinking about places I would love to watch UFC fights in. And maybe the moon or the dark alleyway or the gas station card wouldn't be smash hits, but I think I do have better ideas. The whole reason why I was spurred to make this video as an idea was because the White House event is alleged to be happening in 2026. This for sure would be about 3 times bigger than the Sphere. Imagine a congressional chamber with an octagon in the center and all audience members wear suits like politicians, or they actually are politicians. Like where that table at the very front of that chamber is, imagine if they just replaced that with an octagon. Like the full viewing experience is built in to these rooms. All you have to do is construct the cage. This would be like a Street Fighter level, dude. I would love this so much. They should have a fight in the training area from the Zombies Map 5. That's not the White House, it's the Pentagon. I think that it's in the same area, and that would be lit. Do you remember the training room from 5, bro? There was all the DEF CON switches, and then at the very bottom there was a place where the Pentagon thief would come out of. Do you remember the Pentagon thief, bro? Imagine if Derek Lewis knocked someone out there. Imagine if we watched Mike Malott get chinned by bro, low-key Holland could get that done. My dream for the White House card is that they bring a bunch of stars from other countries and have them fight with American fighters and have the Americans just knock them out brutally, bro. We need that so badly. That would be the most patriotic American outing that the UFC could schedule. So this begs the question, what are other grand locations that UFC fights could be held in? Let's talk about the Dubai underwater tennis courts or the Highrise court. I'm not sure if either of these places exist or if they're just prototypes. I think that's more likely that the Highrise court exists. This seems so dangerous. I don't know why it's a thing. Imagine if a ball falls off of there, which is like guaranteed to happen. My vision for this would just be to put a cage there and they'll just bang. And it's like 700 feet up in the air. Like, dude, that's pretty cool, right? That would be pretty sick. I know that a lot of fighters, they have reservations with fighting in exposed areas like outside. But I mean, Street Beefs does it all the time, and those guys don't ever complain. It's no problem. And they don't even have like a proper canvas either. Like we would be constructing an octagon here. Those guys are like doing jiu-jitsu on like the grass and Street Beefs and stuff, and it doesn't seem to bother them any. I know that we hold this promotion to a higher standard, but it's not like MMA has to be done on a professional grade canvas inside of an octagon. Yes, it has to be done inside of an octagon, but like what the floor is made out of, it doesn't seem to matter that much as you would think that it does. It's just really like a fighter to fighter type of preference, whether they like to fight outside or if they have, or if they just would prefer to not do that. I'm sure there's some guys who are going to be crazy enough to take a fight up here on the Skyrise court and to fight 700 feet up in the air, their ears popping with the elevation and stuff. I feel like a better venue would be the underwater tennis court, but this just doesn't exist yet. That's a framework model in the bottom right corner of what the entire structure will look like. I think that each of those domes there is going to be a arena that looks similar to that one there. That's it, right next to it on the left. And that they can just create whatever stage they want within any of those. How many domes is that? 7? Yeah, and we have like prototypes of what the images may look like. I don't think this is anything real just because it's not consistent from photo to photo. But do imagine what that would be like, dude. If we were getting to watch some fights go on and just in the meantime you got to like pan the camera up in between rounds. You got to see some manatees swimming above the cage. The fighters are walking out, school of dolphins. Like, we got some ambient fish that are going on during the dramatic entrance walkouts. Dude, that'd be so cool. The only thing is that this would need to be held during the day, likely, because I could see it getting really dark in there. I mean, there could be lights that are like under the water, but they would need to put a lot of light fixtures in there so it wouldn't get really dark, especially if they were going to hold these events at night. I'm not a scientist, but basically you got to get the circumference of like the GACMA cables, and then you got a jickalang on a fiddledarn, and then you got a buttledang on a Jutlamanotlan. So this is probably the best idea that I have. We should go back to the Sphere, and we should take better fighters, like for sure. We could do a different theme, no noche event, come up with a new idea to base the card around that's not a Spanish theme. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. The production was great. I watched the clips just before I made this video of like what they had going, and like That was amazing. That was great, dude. That was great. Like you got like a freaking origin creation story of the entire universe told through the sphere card. That was amazing. But they should go back. They should bring better fighters. They should do the same thing but just differently. Wrap up the dome and like the OG Mudbone PNG, like you already know. One thing they got to be careful for is visual pollution whenever the fights are going on. They did a good job of making sure that there was no such things happening. Whenever there were fights happening, it was just the fights and there wasn't any type of backdrop that would distract from what was happening. But that's kind of the whole point of the sphere, is just really obnoxious visuals. So I liked it. I thought that it worked for fighting. I was skeptical as to whether or not it would have worked, but it did. So they should go back and they should have another card there. I wonder what the money amount was to host an event at the sphere. I wonder what the dollar amount was. Next is going to be the padded white room. Make it a heavyweight Grand Prix. Where to place the ref and cameras is the only challenge, but imagine, right? That'd be the only thing, is like the cameras and the ref, because if you just put the two of them in there, then there's a chance that they end up fighting in a corner and you don't get to see any of the action. But if you put the ref in there, that may get too cramped. I don't know. I think that my vision for this would be like just the two of them fighting in there. And this would be like a Saw room where like whenever some guy gets knocked out or subbed by the book of MMA, then you hear a beep and that signifies you guys fucking quit. Or that's whenever they send the ref in and he stops it. But it's just the two of them fighting the whole time. Make this a heavyweight Grand Prix. Just let the fights will be fast. And just put like 8 different heavyweight fights on the same card. Hold them inside of this padded white room. You can even put them in straitjackets, just to make it even that much more fun. No, I'm just playing. Don't put them in straitjackets. But yes, this could be an interesting idea. You guys probably think I'm a fucking retard for all of the opinions that I've shared up until this point, but I'm trying to be different. So get down or lay down. Child's classroom or ball pit is going to be the last to mention, I think. Oh, no, never mind. Child's classroom or ball pit is next. This should be a TKO boxing event, just because there's no way that you can kickbox inside of a ball pit. Wrestling is also going to be hard inside of a ball pit too. But if they take those like D-list boxers that they bring for that gimmicky promotion TKO, just have them do it here. This is another gimmick, and it extends the gimmicks, and it's fun. I think the juxtaposition of intense violence taking place in one of these juvenile areas would be funny to watch. And I think that would be like the absurdity would be like something that adds to the visuals of watching the fight. If they did hold it inside of like a children's classroom that they stripped out, but still kept like the wall decorations on and like maybe that play mat right there with the city on it, just have some dudes just have a really violent war inside of this room. If we're talking about the TKO Boxing League, I can confidently state that memorable settings would help audiences remember these D-list boxers better, because the entire promotion is already super gimmicky. So why not just add more gimmicks onto the gimmicks? Swimming pool for the BJJ belt. Get Mikey Musumeci in that pool and see if he's anything like Namor or Aquaman is what I say. You could also introduce duo BJJ chicken fights, flying triangles from off of someone's shoulders onto someone else on another person's shoulders. I'm bullshitting so hard right now, you guys. Get me and Paige Van Zandt in that damn jacuzzi right now. Let's do some jiu-jitsu. I feel like the jacuzzi would be a bit more conducive to jiu-jitsu. An Olympic-sized swimming pool, it seems like a bit too much space, egregious. Like, what is the ref going to be doing? Especially if they have the lane still cut out too. It's like water being a factor in these fights would open up the opportunity for the jiu-jitsu athletes to use new chokes or drowns. And these would be incorporated into jiu-jitsu techniques. It'd be taught widely through different academies all throughout the United States and in Brazil even. How to do jiu-jitsu underwater. This is going to be the start of our evolution into fishmen. If they did actually go through with this, I have a strange feeling that somebody's just going to be really good at it for no reason. The last location that I think the UFC event should be held in is going to be a mega airliner, like the cargo plane from GTA 5. The inside of it looks spacious enough for an MMA octagon to exist in. I wouldn't suggest something crazy like having them fight just in the back of the cargo plane. Put an octagon there first. Logistically, I'm not sure what that would look like, whether or not you need that space to be open in the cargo plane. Would the plane even be able to fly with the weight of the octagon in the back? With the weight of all the fighters fighting and making commotion back there too, would that matter? I don't think so. It's a big plane. This would be another, like, all these confined spaces, get Derek Lewis versus just somebody there. Derek Lewis versus Mick Parkin main event on the mega airliner. Get them in there, have them put on a banger fight, and let's watch someone get knocked out several thousand feet up in the air. Let me know if you agree with any of the picks for these locations, or if you think I should go downstairs and drink all of the chemicals that I can find underneath my kitchen sink. In any event, please do like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to be back with more content soon, fellas. I'm going to catch y'all.